Lesson 38, Rectangular Coordinates. Remember that the rectangular coordinate is formed by a y-axis, that is the vertical axis, and the x-axis. Now on the x-axis, we have to the right the positives and to the left the negatives. And on the y-axis, to the top we have the positives and to the bottom we have the negatives. These two axes create 4 different quadrants. The first quadrant is created by the positive x-axis and the positive y-axis. So all the points that are here on this quadrant are going to have both x and y positive. The second quadrant is created by the positive y-axis and the negative x-axis. So a point on this side is going to have a negative x and a positive y. The third quadrant is created by negative x-axis and negative y-axis, and the fourth quadrant is created by a positive x and a negative y. Now remember that when we give the location of a point, we use the two coordinates, the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. X first and then y. So let's look at this first example. It says, what are the x and y coordinates of these points in the graph? So A, it's here in the first quadrant, and what we have to remember is that this point here in the center is the origin, and the origin is 0, 0. Now, you have to imagine yourself there walking all the way from here to here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice how each line represents a number, a whole number. And you have to remember to draw it in this way whenever you're working in your notebook. You cannot do lines in the middle like this. It has to be on the line of your papers. So in this case, we have that the coordinate for x is 6 because we moved 6 units to the right. And then from there, we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units up. So the coordinates for A are 6, 5. Now it's very important, again, the signs and the order. You have to put x first and then y, but also the parentheses, because the parentheses indicate that that is a point. Let's look at B. If we go to B, B is in -5 in the x coordinate. So we're going to write here first the -5. And then we go up 3 units. So we put the 3 there. Now C is -2 on the x coordinate and -2 on the y coordinate. Now D is 6 on the x coordinate and -7 on the y coordinate. In this next example, we have to graph the following points, and then we have to draw lines to connect the points and find the perimeter of the shape. So let's start by doing each one of these points. A is 5, so again, I start on my origin and I move 5 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 down. So that would be A. B is 5, 4. So 5 and then 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be B. C is -3. 1, 2, 3. And 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, D is -3, -2. There. So it's easy to see that what we form is a rectangle. So we're going to draw the lines that connect these points. And all we have to do now is find the perimeter. Now we know that adding the perimeter is adding all of the sides of that shape. So in this case, we have that this is 8 and this is 6. So the perimeter is going to be 8 plus 6 plus 8 plus 6. So the perimeter is 28 units. And that's it. So very easy lesson. Make sure you do some practice, and I'll see you in the next lesson.